What is up, Bills fans? How are you? Corey, look at who's first in. Corey. No doom and gloom today, Corey. Okay? Us Bills fans, we don't get to enjoy many victories, let alone blowout victories. And whatever form, shape, fashion it comes in, I like it. Given, what's up, Rick? It's been a while, bro. Wow. Was today long overdue, man. What a breath of fresh air. What a breath of fresh air. This team, I mean, to go in, I mean, if they would have gotten, if the reverse would have happened and they would have gotten blown out, man, to sit on that for 2 weeks and all the questions, and there was no expectations going to this game, none. Barkley, fourth starting quarterback against McCown. It would have just been awful if they would have went out there and got rolled today. But, you know, it was pretty telling. I got to actually see a couple of young Bills fans that were in the area. And, you know, one kid in the Walmart, the other ShopRite, one 16-year-old, the other couple. I don't know if they've ever seen winning, but it's good that they got to travel down and see a win. You know, that's why Bills fans are special. They travel, haven't had a lot of winning to watch, a lot of special anything. And, man, the way we go all in for this team, it's – I know I'm giving us Bills fans a blowjob here, but we deserve it. We deserve to sit on a win like that for 2 weeks. We really do. After what we've endured this season, it was dreadful offensively, and the Jets are in the same position as the Bills now, but in sense that they're going to fire their head coach this Monday or Tuesday. He's in the fourth year. They drafted a young quarterback, but the quarterback's hurt. There's been kind of a lull in his development. I don't think it's a lull. I just think it's a rookie quarterback having a rookie season, but they're in such a bad way that it's like, what are you going to do? But nevertheless, Bills, it's going to be an interesting bye week. But first, the game. Again, not much expectations. They come out right away. 2 plays. Bam, bam. It's gonna be Allen. You start Allen. He's the guy you made the investment for. He's the youth. He's the guy with the physical gifts. Barkley stays on the roster. In no way, shape, or form does he leave this roster. You know, this isn't a false hope game for me, but it's a nice game. It's a nice game to win against a team that was in a similar position than you. It hasn't taken much better to look better than Benjamin at all, Corey. It really hasn't. And they came out against a team that was up against it just like they did really play for, except for themselves, personal pride, each other, their coach, whatever. And you saw one team rise up and go all in, and you saw another team just completely – they didn't look like they want to be there. Maurice Claiborne just tweeted, or he was quoted by Brian Costello, that they just got rolled. They just got beat down today. That they didn't show up and they got beat down. You know, and if they quit, that's on them. If they quit, that's on them. That's not on the Bills. The Bills' job is to go out there and win a game, and they went out there and won a game. That's their job. If the Jets want to quit and lay down for themselves and their coach, that's on them, not on the Bills. I'm not going to apologize for it. Back to the game. Two plays. Bang, bang, touchdown. I believe the fake punt happened on the second touchdown drive, which was really, really, you know, it was kind of a cool play because Logan Thomas being a former quarterback, I always thought, like, I was like, wow. The second they announced the play, I was like, oh, shit, it was Logan Thomas, you know, emergency quarterback. It's interesting to see who the emergency quarterback is. Is it Pryor or is it Logan Thomas? Pryor didn't do much today, was targeted a couple of times, but the story of today was Matt Barkley, Robert Foster, Zay Jones, LaShawn McCoy, Deion Dawkins catching a touchdown. It was crazy. I mean, that's before Barkley, but it's I don't know. They need a veteran on this team somehow, some way. But if it's Barkley, it's Barkley. Let's see how he does. Let's see what they figure out. It's going to be an interesting bye week. But back to the game, This game was 31-3 at halftime. This game was over, much like the Vikings game. I don't want to say the Vikings game because I needed it to be halfway through the third quarter before I felt like it was over. This game was over at halftime. You know the Jets didn't have 31 in them, much like the Bills wouldn't have had 31 points in them if they were down 31-3. And Jets came out and scored a touchdown mid-third quarter. Bills answered right away on the Zay Jones touchdown. Probably could have put up more. And it was just good to see that they had the choice whether they wanted to, how they wanted to win, in what fashion. And it just goes to show how important quarterback play is. When you get a quarterback who's not turning the ball over, can make some plays down the field, can manage the game, and is just competent. It's just, dude, Nathan wasn't going to start a quarterback. They can't even. Yeah, he needs a break. His break is going to be off the roster. He's gone. So that's his break. That's Nathan Peterman's break. He's going to be released either tomorrow or Tuesday. That's it. He's gone after. He's gone. Yeah, it was nice to see a passing game. Isaiah McKenzie, forgot to bring him up. He brought a lot of juice to the return game, much needed. I'm glad that, he did a few jet sweeps, I believe. I think he gave them something they thought they were going to get out of Ray McLeod, but Ray McLeod hasn't, much like most people on the Bills offense, hasn't done much of anything. And it's an interesting game from the standpoint of Charles Clay didn't even play. It was first game. Wyatt Teller was a full-time starter. The offense ran for over 200-plus yards. Kelvin Benjamin doesn't catch a pass. Yeah, Corey, I think you should just IR Clay, bring up Tobridge. I mean, you saw the Bills make a lot of those similar type moves. This week they released Phillip Gaines after his awful game last week, his 3 pass interference calls. Ramon Humber was released to bring up Foster, and that's a good sign. They bring up a guy who is maybe doing well in practice, and he has 100 yards receiving and helps the team score some touch. I mean, that's huge. He provided a lot of downfield stuff for him. Yep, I remember them all. Robert Royal, Derek Schumann, Derek Fine, Dave Moore. I remember all the garbage tight ends the Bills have had in this run. I remember them all. David Martin. Yeah, I beat you. I beat you. Yeah, so I remember them all. But today, it's about today, not about the past. And again, for the team to look like they had a pulse offensively, a clue offensively, a game plan, they seemed like they had the Jets on their heels from Jump Street. They let Matt Barkley play. They didn't keep anything in the holster. They went all out. He avoided a couple of interceptions. But you see a lot of passes like that during games where the ball there was one in particular where 3 Jets were it was a pass to Kelvin Benjamin. He just turns and looks at it and stops, and 3 Jets are running at it, diving at it. Thankfully, it hit the ground, but he dropped a touchdown pass early in the game. This is like his 3rd or 4th drop touchdown pass all season. He is absolutely worthless. Yeah, Eric, he needs to be released. He really does need to be released. I have no interest in watching him play football for the Bills ever again. Peterman will probably be released. I mean, it's either or. It's Bowles and Barkley. They're both gone. Yeah, it's good to see that they said, we're going to move on from Vladimir Dukas. You're going to see, again, it's going to be an interesting week. Where do they go? How many quarterbacks do they keep? Do they play it safe and keep 3 with Anderson, Allen, and Barkley? They want to keep Anderson in a backup role, not a backup role, but like the 3rd quarterback mentor. Or maybe he's inactive on game day. He just helps Allen in the film room, helps him with the walkthrough, shit like that. Maybe that's the vein they keep him in. Maybe they IR him to open up another roster spot. They'll probably release Peterman, but Barkley played himself onto the team today. He really, really did. And outside of Allen in Minnesota, gave them their second bet. Well, maybe their best quarterback performance this whole year, which is crazy for a quarterback who's been on the roster 6-7 days. For what it's worth, I'm the one who said Barkley should have been drafted by the Bills. Instead, he should have been the Bills' first-round draft pick in 13, but the Bills ended up drafting E.J. Manuel. Barkley hasn't really done much, but hey, Barkley's in the league and E.J.'s not, so maybe I was half right. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be an interesting week for a team that's on a bye. They get to go in, and it calms everything down. It calms everything down. You know, the noise that was going on about the team, about the process, the lack thereof, too much BS with that. The team's not winning; they're getting trounced. The quarterback position has been awful. And it's been a rash of bad luck. They've had injuries and some of the most dreadful play you'd ever want to imagine. And again, he's on the team now. I don't know why I keep talking about him because he's so polarizing. The fact that Nathan Peterman is still on this roster is crazy. And I believe serious questions should be asked of McDermott at the end of the year by fans, by the media, and by the Bills management. They should ask him. They should, what was it in this guy that led you to make such a grave error? And it's obvious what it is and what it was. It's his like for him. He let his feelings about Peterman, the person, influence his decision about Peterman, the player. And that, to me, should not happen. Not in a performance-based business. Maybe he's a good practice player and whatnot, but it's again, Corey, the negativity today, there's enough negativity with the Bills. It's just, I'm not going to tell you what to say or what not to say. It's an open forum, but why today? Because they brought up Robert Foster. I mean, Terrell Williams catches touchdown passes for the Chargers. He's an undrafted guy. Do they apologize for that? They should apologize for Robert Foster. I don't understand the Houston game. I don't understand the Houston game. Put in the Houston game. Can I kick this Turkey's guy? No, he's I don't know. There's like a big mix up in the chat. Sorry, guys. No, you can't keep 4. It's obvious that who's going to go. Maybe Anderson, like I said, gets put on IR. Maybe they keep him as the third mentor guy because they've had such a rash of injuries at the position. But the fact they haven't IR'd him yet, but they didn't know they were going to get a good performance like from Barkley that they did today. So who sees where they go? Chris Ivory didn't play today. Like I said, Charles Clay didn't play today. Not that he's ever really mattered to this team. He hasn't, and he hasn't all year. Benjamin not catching a pass is just another indictment of him in a long list of indictments of him. Maybe he gets released. Would I be shocked if Benjamin gets released? Not at all. Corey, I agree with you. I agree that a quarterback should have been signed. I think they're serious about winning. It's just finding the quarterback that gets them winning consistently. I don't think no team is not interested in winning games because at the end of the day, your existence in the league, whether it's a player or a coach, coaches have a lot more lifeline than players do, but it's finite. As a player especially, average career last is 3.5 seasons. 3.5 seasons, that's all you get. It's easy to be negative, but on a season filled with negativity, going into a bye after the team wins 41-10 on the road in such a bad situation, I'm not going to be negative today. I choose not to be. I'm just not going to be negative. He was okay. He was a rookie. I'm not saying he was great shakes, but he's a rookie that, was playing how he was playing. Good, bad, or indifferent. He had a couple of good spots and he had some rough ones. I'm not going to condone, or apologize for anything he's done to this point. You know, we've seen some good and we've seen bad. That's what rookies are. You see it from veterans from time to time. I mean, I don't think that Barkley's play today is some great revelation at quarterback. I think it's a surprise. Yeah, they're not making the playoffs. A win just hurts the draft position. You could say that. You could say that. But it also, you could say a win keeps the team as a whole in a better place mentally, because what is losing ever done? It just beats a team down. You just beat a team down mentally, like the Browns. The Browns have had tons of draft picks, tons of cap room, and they neglected drafting a quarterback for the last few years. When they did, it was Manziel. That didn't work out back in 14 or whatever, 14. And, you know, they finally go and get the guy in Baker, and they won 3 games, tied another, played okay. They fired their coach, but still, you know, winning, the only thing that solves winning is winning. Dude, there's a lot of guys who it just wears on you. Tom Brady didn't come in the league and endure a lot of losing. He didn't. His worst record being on a roster was his rookie year where he didn't play, 5-11. The second worst was 9-7. So it's not about, it's what you do when adversity hits that matters the most. Everybody can prosper and win. Everybody can pound their chest and be like, hey, we won. Look at the Jaguars this year. They have the same record as the Bills. Same record as the Bills. Doug Marrone, the savior, off an AFC championship game. It's terrible. It's terrible. But again, I am not going to be negative today. If you want to wallow in negativity, that's up to you, man. Because I'm not going to do it. Yep. If you, again, you're an apologist for whatever you're arguing for, Corey, and that's okay. But apologist for Peterman's interceptions, apologize for the Jaguars having a game stolen. Bills have had games stolen from them. Jaguars game in London, game was stolen, pass interference, Nickel Roby-Coleman. That was a fucking travesty. That should have never been called, but it was. You know how this league is? It's just like in boxing or fighting or mixed martial arts. You run a risk letting the fight go to the judges. And when the refs put the game in their hands late, it's terrible. But Marrone, fuck him. Fuck Marrone. The way they win today tells me, like, the way, if I read tea leaves, I think the organization is going to be like, let's hit the reset button after the bye. Let's clean up the roster. We got 6 more games. Have Allen in there. He's got 2 weeks more to heal and prepare. And let's see how we end out. Let's see if we can finish strong. Let's see if we can even this record out. Let's see how we compete. That's it. Yeah. We'll see him in Buffalo. We'll see him in Buffalo. That's it. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Trevor. I get it now. I didn't get what you were saying. I got it now. You're not going to see your messages are hidden turkeys. Nobody sees your messages anymore. You're just in here playing games. Nobody wants to play games. Yeah, Los. Milan. I think he got a concussion late in the game. He got a concussion late. Hey, what's up, Matt? How are you, bro? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It just hit me right now. I remember him from last week, and I was having a brain fart because, again, I'm trying to enjoy the game. I'm enjoying the game, and the fact he's here again 2 weeks in a row tells you, where's he at? He's got nothing better to do. I'm not the most riveting talk in the world. There's a lot better talk out there than me. I'm just a Bills fan who likes communicating with other Bills fans. Even Corey and his negativity. All of them are gone. Every last one of them. Every last one of them are gone. So I'm not talking about them. So I'm just going to enjoy this. Hughes played well today. The whole team, 46 guys, played well. they all played well. They all went out there and played hard. I mean, you didn't notice wrong. I mean, what can you say? Like Josh McCown, who by all accounts was going to give the better chance to the Jets to win today because he's a veteran quarterback. He's Josh McCown, and I don't think he's won 11 games out of the like 50 he started. He's got a terrible record as a starting quarterback. He's a nice guy, and Kelvin's terrible. There's no point. I mean, he is terrible. It's sad because I think the guy has ability. He's terrible. Kelvin Benjamin is just garbage, and it's sad that the team. He'll be back after the bye. I have a feeling they'll get him back after the bye. They wanted to give him an extra because remember he had that ACL surgery last year. He tweaked the knee 3 weeks ago. I forget who they were playing. It was late. I think it was in Indianapolis. He tweaked the knee late, and it was Derek Anderson's first start. He tweaked it late in the game, and I think we'll see him back after the bye. He did miss Clay. Shaq has played really good. Shaq is a guy I thought they were going to release. He played well. Again, I didn't notice anything wrong. Nobody stood out. Matt Milano is really a really good player. The safeties played great. Hyde got a pick. There was some plays made by Tremaine Edmonds where he strung out some runs. You saw his athleticism. The defensive line did not get run over like they did last year against the Jets in Buffalo. So they really, really tightened it up. And they got it together. And it was good to see. It was really, really good to see. It's really, really again, to go into 2 weeks with the team not playing is just really, really relaxing. We get to all how the Mondays are after a Bills win. There's not many of them, but they feel good. The week feels good. And then we see how the team shakes out. They're not going to carry 7 wide receivers. They're not going to carry just 2 tight ends. Well, 3 tight ends because Clay was inactive. He's still on the 53, but they're not going to carry 4 quarterbacks. They have 10 offensive linemen. I think we're going to see a lot of shuffling on that offensive side of the ball. Yeah, that was nice to see. That was really nice to see that they went down the field. And the Jets didn't look like they were ready for it. And Robert Foster, he made plays. He went up and got – though I loved it when he went up and got the one ball. I believe it was over I think it was over Claiborne, Morris Claiborne. Claiborne stopped that, and Robert went up and attacked. And, again, a guy they just called up from the practice squad. So that's encouraging that they saw that he was trying to get his way back onto the team, and there he is. First 100-yard receiver in 19 games? That is so pathetic. I mean, it was really good game. Offensive standards, really good game. He had over 450 yards. Barkley passes for 230. Bills rush for over 200. Had some good play in the special teams. It was their first complete game of the year where they played front to back good in every phase of the game. The return game worked out. The fake punt, the ball bounced their way on the holy roller to Clay. Zay Jones is really coming into his own. So there's some good stuff to go into this bye week with and try to build on. They can try to build on it and get it back at least into a respectable position where they're not the laughing stock of the league. Because that's embarrassing. I hate that shit. I hate when I turn on radio and listen to Bills people who cover the Bills, poke fun at the Bills and constantly. I hate that shit. I know a lot of it is justified and it's been earned by the team because they played so bad offensively. But this defense, we got to give McDermott credit in this area. He didn't come in and talk a big game. And the defense has been rectified. He's gotten this defense back to where it was, even better than where it was with Schwartz. Schwartz team's got a lot of sacks, but they got beaten deep a lot. And was he released? I didn't know. The Cowboys released him? Wow. I didn't know the Cowboys released him. Maybe they – you know what? We should. If that's the case, I release Benjamin, and I would sign him. But I want to see Robert Thomas play. I want to see the younger guys play. I want to see this young guy McKenzie. I want to see the youth play. Now, if they like him as a player and as a person, then sign him up. And plus, he's got good speed. Allen's coming back, so they're going to want a guy who can go deep more and be more frequent, more consistent about it. So if they sign him, I'm not going to be upset about it. So again, there's a lot of interesting moves for this team to make, and it's gonna be fun to see what they do, where they go, because McKenzie is a guy that they're definitely going to keep after this week. He was just signed, and Barkley's a guy now that he's played himself onto the roster. No, they didn't. Williams was okay. See, I always thought Aaron Williams was way more overhyped. He was solid, but he wasn't Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer good. He was never that good. He moved to safety to rectify his career. Otherwise, the guy was going to be released. I don't think they like him. How can you say that they like him? He's played abysmal. He's played terrible. His play has been awful. I mean, I can't say that anymore. If I say Kelvin Benjamin, it's just puke. The Bills posted something with Kelvin Benjamin on Instagram this week, and it was just, you should go read the comments. It was like, oh my God, did they know this guy was so terrible? I don't think it'll take 3 years. That was a different time. And Rodgers was behind a Hall of Famer, and the Packers didn't even know how good. See, that's what the Packers didn't know what they had in Aaron Rodgers till Aaron Rodgers played as good as he did. Do you know why? He was on the roster for 3 years. They drafted a quarterback in the second round and put him in a quarterback competition with Brian Brown. So what does that tell you? Did they know something nobody else? No. Quarterbacks you just don't know about. You just don't know about till they go out there and they do it. They do it. You know, that's the bottom line. Totally different dynamic here. Different day and age. It's different now. That was 2005, 6, 7. That it's 2018. The dynamics of football just changed so much. And I was looking at quarterback stats from back in the day, and when people want to talk about quarterback play and the way the game is or isn't, they want to judge players from the past comparatively to now. You can't do it. You can't do it. I was looking at mid-70s, early 70s. You would see the majority of the league's quarterbacks not even make it to 3,000 yards. The first quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards in the NFL was Joe Namath, ever. Joe Namath was like 4,004 yards, and I'm sure that was considered monumentally historic. You know, the Bills have had one in their whole history of their team. And again, hopefully they can finally get to that point, having a 4,000 yard, high 3,000 yard passer. Hopefully they can get to that point. But the guy that has the ability to make that happen has to play the last 6 games. And if Barkley's the backup, I'm all for it. If they keep Anderson on in some sort of, little role, whatever, inactive, that's fine too. Yeah, he threw for, but that was 85. But even then, it was considered you don't play football like that. Marino, I remember the narrative around Marino is the Dolphins never win enough because they don't run the ball effectively. And at the time, the way the game was played, that was true. The game was played more in a box, more between the hash marks in the middle of the field with running and stuff. And it's not the space game the way it is now with the rules, especially on defense. The fact that DBs can't hit receivers over, they have the ability, they can't jam receivers to the extent they used to, and all the contact rules. It's just a different game now. So different. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Everybody played well today. The line played well. I didn't notice anybody in the line I know Barkley took that sack, but you know what? It's sometimes the guy on the broadcast said it perfectly. He's like, it's sometimes the pass you the best thing is like something to the best pass you throw is the one you don't make, or something like that. Like he ate the ball, he just took the sack and said, you know what, we're gonna punt here. We're up by a crazy score. Let's not do nothing stupid. And Allen can look at that and say, hey, you know, sometimes I just got to throw the ball away or take a sack. I don't need to try to play hero ball all the time. But again, I don't think they made some, you know, big revelation with Barkley. I'm really happy he played well. I always, every Bills player, yes, Corey, even Peterman, everybody who's ever stepped on the field in a Bills uniform, I rooted for to play lights out. I want them to go out and put out historic performances. Every fucking guy that's ever donned that uniform, from the first guy to the 46th guy, the punter, everybody, the long snapper, I've always wanted them to do well. I never root against the Bills player to say, I told you so. I never do that. Ever. Ever. And again, Allen's the investment, bro. Just go where the investment is. It's like Zay Jones. Zay Jones didn't have a good season in his rookie year. He was playing with a torn right labrum. He got hurt. He had this crazy, embarrassing incident in the hotel room, but the organization made the investment. They traded up for him. They stuck by him, and he's playing better. So hopefully we'll see what happens. And I want to see what they do, how they go. I want to see if they add anybody. They must have I've been looking for this Deontay Thompson release. Did that just happen? I'm not saying it didn't happen. I've been talking to you guys, which I should definitely be doing in here. The thing that's dominating Twitter right now is Carmelo Anthony being released. So that's what's going on with Twitter right now. But if they bring him back, I know they were interested in bringing Deontay Thompson back on like a 1-year vet deal. Never came to fruition. Maybe he thought he had a better opportunity in Dallas. The quarterback situation there is more settled than it is with the Bills, obviously, but I don't know how much better it is or isn't. There's going to be some, again, just it's going to be a crazy bye week. Are the Jets that bad? They're weird. They're a weird team. They go out and they play well. They destroyed somebody a few weeks ago. They ran all over them. Denver. They ran for like 300 yards against Denver. Yeah, Bowles is done, Matthew. Bowles is done. And that's another thing is Adam Gase going to get axed at the end of the year? It appears that the Dolphins are moving on from Ryan Tannehill. Brady is going to be 42. So it's imperative for the Bills to find out what Josh Allen is or isn't. This is the window. This is the time to do it. This is where they have to find out, and hopefully for all of our sake, have a quarterback that they can proceed forward for a decade plus. Because the Jets have one maybe with Darnold, but they're going to be changing out organizations and coaches, and we'll see that happens. You know, Harbaugh was supposed to quit last year, man. They were supposed to have a parting of the ways last year. After the bye, Chris. After the bye. He was close to starting this week, and I think they just thought it proved, you know what? Let's just give him the 2 weeks, be fully 100% all in, no restrictions. Not that he did. Yes, he should. You should. This is the guy that you traded up. You made every move that they made for the last year and a half prior to last year's draft. You don't not do that for Matt Barkley. Matt Barkley played nicely today. My hat's off to him. But Allen is the quarterback, and he should be the quarterback. And you have to find out about this guy. You don't go to your organization and say, yeah, we traded all these resources to get this guy, but hey, we're not gonna play him for a guy we just signed off the street. And you're an owner. It's like, okay, that was the biggest decision you were ever gonna make. What else can I trust you with? You can't have it. Pryor, probably. He's probably, again, it all depends on what happens this week. I would say that he probably is. No, Peterman's not winning anything. We've seen what Peterman is. He's terrible. Yeah, he was targeted a couple times, had no catches, but they won. He's on the winning side. So, and a young player that the team hopefully wants to keep around had a big game. 2 young players, Robert Foster and Zay Jones. So that's huge for me. Marcus Murphy had a good game too. Marcus Murphy had a nice game in the backup running back role. He didn't fumble. He ran hard. That was good to see. Everybody, again, I can't complain about one guy who suited up for the Bills today. Now, yes, I can. Kelvin Benjamin. Kelvin Benjamin. What am I saying? I'm complaining about 2. Peterman and Benjamin. I've been complaining about them the whole fucking video. But yeah, Teron Johnson is playing lights out. He made the 1 tackle for loss on it was a screen. He blew that shit clean up. He's played great. And it's good to see that, okay, if you want to give them credit for something, they're able to identify defensive talent. And they haven't really allocated any resources to the offense in terms of, like, big contracts. They've done some drafting on offense. Deion Dawkins, Wyatt Teller, who are both starting now. Zay Jones, who's a starter. They've kind of liked Jason Kroom as an undrafted guy, kept him around. Josh Allen. But they really haven't allocated a lot of big money or anything like that to the offense. Shady's, yeah, because the offense blocked for him. But did you see the miss he made? Corey, did you see the spin move he made on Jamal Adams? Jamal Adams had him dead to rights in the backfield, and he spun him out of his jock. You know what? It's not just the play calling. I thought the diversity was good. I'll say that. I don't really know the specificity of the plays, but I thought that the execution was great today because the quarterback, gave the receivers chances. He didn't turn the ball over. He played well. Yeah, the pass opened up the run today. You saw it. The pass opened up the run. Remember when the Bills tried to lock it in the second half? They tried to start bleeding some clock. Jets scored. Bills got the ball back. I think it was like the first or second play of the next drive for the Bills was the deep pass to Robert Foster. That was great. Hey Neil, what's up, bro? Nobody spoon feeds you anything. You go score touchdowns. They're professionals. The Bills are professional players. The Vikings are. The Jets are. And however you choose to play are able to play. And sometimes a lot of times the other guy on the other side of the ball is just beating you. And that's just what's happening. So this team still needs offensive talent, but it's good to see that there might be something in the cupboard, that the cupboard's not totally bare. Granted, it's the Jets. Yeah, the defense, but the offense still scored. The offense scored 24 points in the first half. And in that Viking game, there was 2 dropped touchdown passes. Charles Clay dropped one in the end zone. You just, again, if you want to nitpick to be negative and just wallow in negativity, dude, you're going to live a miserable life as a sports fan. It's going to be ugly. You're not going to – I watch this for enjoyment, and there's a lot of times as a Bills fan I don't enjoy it, but I love the team. And when they win, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to lament and mope and go, oh, this and that, and all these little silver lining things I can find because that's easy. What fun is that? That's no fun. If you want to live in that world, that's just terrible. You can't even put the two in the same breath. Stevie Johnson is he didn't do a lot of winning in Buffalo. He dropped some TDs, but he is beloved by Bills fans. And Kelvin Benjamin is hated. Bills fans generally hate the guy. And it's just because he doesn't look like he cares. He really doesn't look like he gives a shit about the team, about his play. It looks he just doesn't look like he has much pride in his play. Irregardless of him wearing the uniform, you're going to be a free agent. You're going to be 30 in a couple of years. Don't you want to try to, stay in the league and put out a requisite product on tape? And he just doesn't look like he gives a shit. Yeah, it's tough. it would got said Benjamin has like 4 drop touchdown passes. 4 drop touchdown passes. I know he's got like 3 from Allen and 1 today. So he's got 4 drop touchdown passes. It's terrible. I just don't. I honestly don't think he cares. I just don't think he's not a very motivated guy. It's like Mario Williams. Mario Williams got to a point in his career he just threw his hands up, didn't care anymore. He made his money and he's done. He's just done. He's just like, oh, why do I have to play hard anymore? Why do I have to put my body on the line? It's just there's not a lot of he dropped 5. He's dropped a lot of touchdown passes, man. He's terrible. And he just doesn't want to be – he doesn't look like he wants to even be in the league, let alone on the Bills. But I don't know. Where do you – I don't know what the team – but Mario was a complainer. He didn't want to talk to the media. He was the highest paid player on the team, and he just would only talk to the media when he wanted to complain. But Kelvin Benjamin is just – he's never had an impact on the Bills. At least Mario had a few good seasons. Benjamin's done nothing. But where they go, what they do in the next couple of days is going to be telling, because I don't think they're going to practice guys and put guys out on the field in a practice setting that aren't going to go into next week against the Jaguars. I think you're going to see the roster get shuffled pretty well. Maybe anywhere between 4 to 6 guys. Maybe they drop an offensive lineman. Maybe you see a Vlad Dukas get released because that would still put the Bills at 9 offensive linemen. Maybe Clay gets IR. They bring up Tobridge. One of the receivers gets juggled. Maybe it's Kelvin Benjamin. The QB situation, they're definitely not keeping 4. We know who the guy out is. The question is, do they keep 2 or they keep 3? They keep 2 or they get 3. I don't know, man. It's such a week-to-week league. It's a week-to-week league. Either one of those, I don't think they're not going to lose out. I don't think they lose out. I think they can beat the Dolphins once. I think they can beat the Jets again. I think they can beat the Lions. That's 3 wins right there. So, and there's 6 games left, so we'll see where they go from there. But it's good to see that they were able to go out and put something on the field today that was meaningful in terms of themselves, not in the grand scheme of things, but just the fans feel good after a win. The team definitely feels good after a win. The coaches look like, they feel like they've done something okay. All the work we put in during the week, it mattered this week, and our preparation was great. And they can see, okay, this worked, that worked, and they can start to tinker with things. When you go out and play offense like the Bills have had in the last almost all season, what can you do? You have no like, we don't do anything well, so what can we do? Can you IR and still travel with the team? Oh, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not. I can't say. I can't. I honestly can't say. I wish I knew. I have to find that out. I'm gonna ask somebody. I'll try to figure it out. But that's an interesting question. Can he still travel with the team? Who are you signing? Does he get canned? They're going to move on from Tannehill. I think they're going to move on from Tannehill. They've been insistent on drafting, on playing Osweiler. Tannehill's shoulder situation's odd. The way it all happened is odd. The reporting on it was odd, or the lack thereof. Gase's reaction was weird. Peterman definitely gets cut. Like I've said, the writing is on the wall, and Barkley's performance today just further puts that and etches it in stone. So, again, I'm more concerned about the Bills and what they do, because I want to see who they, maybe they're able to grab somebody off the waiver wire. Maybe they sign a guy. Who knows, that can help the rest of the season or down the line. I really get the sense they want to look at the younger players, though, like a Foster, like a McKenzie, guys like that. They want Allen out there. Maybe they bring in a Deontay Thompson to stretch the field even more, and maybe they release Kelvin Benjamin. Who knows? We'll see what they do definitely soon. I don't think it's going to linger. I don't think we're going to see their decisions this week linger too much. And hopefully get healthy. Hopefully, get a chance to get everybody healthy and back for Jacksonville. I mean, I want the idea to be they want to have a revenge game. They want to go have a home game against a team that knocked them out of the playoffs, where the quarterback needed to make one play and they didn't get it, and they can go out there fired up and hungry. Like, we should have beat this team last year in the playoffs. We should have beat this team, and we're going to beat them today, and go out and make Blake Bortles look like Blake Bortles. That's it. And shut up Jalen Ramsey, the big mouth, and that's what I'd love to see. Oh, man. Did he get hurt, Trevor? Is it a knee? I'm about to switch this game here and see it. I know they're on. Yeah, they're on CBS. It's weird to see an NFC game on CBS. They're just like, oh, look, it's Lynn Dawson, Jack Kemp. They're showing the old guys. I think it was the first Super Bowl that was played there. So, sorry I got distracted for a second. But how soon, like, what do you think the odds are Peterman makes it past Tuesday? I think they're like, I don't think they're good. I think you could put him at 0.1%. Yeah, he's kind of gimping off right now. At least he's not on the cart. When a guy's on the cart, it's bad. I don't know about you, but I think this should be the Rams uniforms all the time. Not to get off the Bills subject, but that's the Rams uniform, not that shit they wore in St. Louis. Those were not good. This is the Rams uniform. Like the Bills, I still miss the red helmets, but this version of the Bills uniform is so much better than the one they had prior. It was god awful. No, Peterman has no Fitzmagic. Peterman doesn't throw touchdowns. He has nothing. It's just, I feel so bad for the guy, and I've said that so many times. The guy just needs to be safe from himself. It just needs to be safe from himself. Poor dude. Yeah, it was terrible. The one the Bills had prior was horrible. That I call it the Donahoe uniforms. Those really dark blue with the silver stripes everywhere, and like it was just the helmet with all these different stripes down the middle. They were just wretched uniforms. They were just disgusting. Yeah, all the garbage that was in that uniform. They were dreadful. The white helmet's nice, but I wish the buffalo was a little bigger. I always, like, for me, if I could create, like, if I, as a selfish prick with the Bills, like, if I could create my perfect Bills uniform, it would be a red helmet, and the buffalo would be white. The buffalo would be white with a blue speed streak. And the symbolism behind that is albino buffaloes are unique. They're special. You don't see many albino buffaloes. And the blue speed streak is like something going so fast, like a jet, it's blue flame. So the hottest part of the fire is the blue flame. So that's what I always wanted, like in a gray face mask, like a really dark gray face mask. Like it would have a new look, but still like a little bit of an older feel. But the buffalo would be charging. It would not be a standing buffalo. I would not want a standing buffalo. I'd want a charging buffalo, slightly tweaked, that's white with a blue speed streak and a gray face mask. But the shell would be red, and the jersey would be blue, cleaner. I don't like the goddamn numbers on the shoulder pads. I hate that. I like them here. I don't like the numbers here. I like them here. Shooting out its ass. That's funny. Yeah, that's okay. They can do that. I mean, as a throwback, that's okay. What I don't like blue on blue. I don't like it. I've never liked the blue on blue. I've never liked it. Whether it was a red helmet, white helmet, I don't like it. I don't like blue on blue, and I don't like I hate the blue pants with the white jerseys on the road. I fucking hate it. I hate the blue chip. I hate that. I hate that uni combo. It should be all white everything, or white helmets with blue on white. That's it. That's all you should. That's all it should be. If they want to occasionally do the red color rush, that's fine. But yeah, but you got to tweak it. You can't always go back to the early 90s. You can't always go back to that. I think you need to tweak it, freshen it up, and the Pagulas make it their own. That was my idea, was the white helmet. I thought in my mind it looks fucking delicious. It would look great. That's just my opinion. But the jersey would be a little cleaner. It would look similar, but it would look a little cleaner. It looks pretty. I just don't like all the stripes going on them. I'm picky. Fuck. They have a lot of stripes going on the arm. I'm not all for that. All that noise. The pants are fine. I like the blue socks. I didn't like the red socks. I get that. Sorry about the picky with the uniform. I sound like a fucking fashion guru when it comes to sports. Yeah, we're really on the Bills. Yeah, we are. We should. It's a lighter subject than talking about the past or being negative. The iodized helmets, like something. No, yeah, the matte color, the matte red. I would like that. Yeah, I do, Neil. That's not bad. The shell, the color of the shell is eggshell, so it's an off-white. It's more for the old school effect. The new one, if you notice, you guys who go to the game see it better than on the TV, but I've seen a Bills helmet in person. It's got like a blue iridescent thing going on. So even though it's white, it still has like a blue kind of hinge to it. So I didn't see what you. Oh, Red Sox. Oh, I don't like them either. I didn't like the Red Sox. Sometimes I say that too, bro. They could wear fucking pink out there, but as long as they win. But I don't know. I like that. I'm like, I look at it this way. Who wore the Titans wore the ugliest uniforms I ever fucking saw today. The Titans wore like a uni combo that was wretched. That was just disgusting. The Panthers wore, the Jaguars wore one that was just fucking hideous too. All those expansion teams, mid to late 90s, awful fucking uni. Just the Browns uni combo. That was a real old school uni combo, but they have that fucking Cleveland across the jersey, which is stupid. That even they don't like it. But yeah, the uni combo, that dark blue on that light blue is just I hate it. I like the Bills uniforms, but there's so many teams with white helmets. There's so few teams with red helmets. KC has a red helmet. That's it. Redskins have a maroon helmet. That's really it. I just wish they would like have that red helmet again. That would be really. I would be really, really happy. But I don't care what the Titans won. They beat New England today. Anytime New England loses, I'm very, very happy camper. And the Bills won, and I don't care who it was against. They went out there and they played a really good game, start to finish, and they didn't ever let the Jets back in it. The second the Jets scored a touchdown, the Bills went back. To digress back to the game, they went back and they scored a touchdown the next drive and said, "Oh no, you don't. Not today. You're not doing it. You're not doing it." So they just. Yeah, white helmets are so common. There's like 20. There's like not 20. There's like 12 teams off the top of my head that have white helmets. Chargers, the Titans just switched from a white helmet. The Cardinals, the Dolphins, the Jets, I'm trying to think of one of the Colts. You guys can name more. There's just too many. There's just too many. Yeah, the Sabres won. They came back from down a bunch of goals. The Bills went out and just destroyed a team that was in a bad spot like they are, and it feels good. It just to see them play offensively with some competent offense, let alone laying down. And they didn't get a bunch of turnovers today. They didn't. They got 2. I think they scored off one, but still they went out. They didn't have any defensive touchdown, special teams touchdown. The offense just went out and moved the ball up and down the field. They just went out and moved the ball up and down the field, seemingly at will in both the run and pass game. You know, the took shots deep. They lined up and just mashed them. Am I a Sabres fan too? I mean, I hear so much of them on WGR. It's almost kind of by default. I live in Jersey, and you know, got the Devils here. It's the only thing that's here. I hear an okay amount about them, but I mean, I hear about the Sabres so much just from listening to Bills stuff. It's kind of like you kind of become like interested in what the team's doing or what's going on, and you want, you know, Bills fans that are Sabres fans be happy. It's all good. Like, they win, everybody wins. Does he get? Nah, he's not getting released after this season. I don't think he's getting released. I think if they end up moving him for something, that would be different. But to release him, it doesn't. You're just opening up another need on your team. Like, I think he's still got. He's on. He's going to play out his contract. He's one more year, and I think they're going to have him play that year out, and then they'll move on from him because he'll be 31 going on 32 at that point. But he had a nice game today. He went out and put up 100 yards, scored a couple of touchdowns. I was glad they got him that second touchdown after the first one was called back down. Seattle plays hard every week. They do. They're in games. They just got a sack fumble, but tough situation. Rams are playing well, and the Saints look like they're the best team in football right now. Look at Floyd Mayweather getting footballs like he fucking needs them. They have nobody. I mean, they have a few okay players, but they don't really. He's the quarterback, and that's what the Bills need. They need their quarterback to be the catalyst for all the success. But I'm going on an hour, guys. Sorry for the video wasn't that great today, but the live chat's always good. The live chat with you guys is always amazing. I really, really appreciate it. Let you guys get back to the rest of your evenings. I don't want to hold you up here for like 2 crazy hours like it did last week, but it was just so miserable to see them lose again in that way at home, but to see them rebound going into a bye. I'm going to get Josh Allen back, hopefully get the quarterback situation cleaned up as much as it has been all year, and maybe a few other positions just as much as you can this late in the year during the bye. Just press the reset button and say, hey, let's do this. Do I have an Xbox Live name? Yeah. It's the same as this. No, it's not. It's MAVBMF22. I'll type it in the room. That's my handle on Xbox. But it's Vicious155 on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. I'm not promoting myself, but if you ever want to talk Bills and stuff, that's where I talk a lot of Bills and stuff. You guys have a great one, man. Los, you're an awesome cat. Eric, fucking top shelf. Corey, you're a fucking good guy too, dude. I love you, man. Neil, Matthew, Trevor, all you guys who come in on a regular basis and do your thing. I know I'm missing a few people. Damage, he's in here. Unis comes in here. I've seen a few new guys like Mo and trying to name names. I really appreciate it, guys. You have a great weekend. Enjoy your week. We earned, like McDermott says, we fucking earned the right to enjoy the week. We really did. Well, we have to sit there with this team, and when they win a game in this fashion today, tomorrow, the rest of the week, going into next week, we earned the right. So Bills Mafia, K Beats, all you guys who came in, have a great one, guys. Take care. See you next time, man. I appreciate all of you. Go Bills.